Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are in the Iowa. But we're doing something a little bit different. So you're not going to realize it right off the top, but this was one of the matches where I was playing with the secondary battery build instead of the full-on dispersion max range build that I'm used to. And you probably noticed by the title already being Weathering the Storm, that we're gonna get into a fight. And we're gonna have to do everything we can to hold it. Now, initially, I spawn over here with a couple cruisers. So, I go ahead and start pushing. It's a domination match. I'm gonna go ahead and start pushing towards sea. Just see if we can find some people. And as you can see, I've already muted some folks. Now, I know by experience that this side of the map is generally a bad play.
Fighter airborne.
But there's only one destroyer on the enemy team, and he's currently spotting me right now down the center of the map. So, I make the play to go ahead and head over to sea anyway. I've got two cruisers here, so if a destroyer does decide to pop out, he's in trouble. And if we run into any battleships, I'm in the Iowa, so I should be okay. What I was not counting on, now don't get me wrong, having the secondary battery build on the Iowa is nice because you get some perks with it, and with those perks you get the extra charge on your repair crew, so that comes in handy when you're going to have to weather the storm. And that's exactly what's going to happen in this one. So these two cruisers that are with me, they're not doing cruiser things. As in, they're not being... They're not going out and seeing things until it's too late. Look! Hey, look! It's a New Orleans. We go ahead and put them on him. Now, I'm forgetting at this point that I don't have the dispersion build, but it's okay because, you know, I can still absolutely murder face. And unfortunately for that New Orleans, I only got 1,000 of that health. The other guys managed to put a hurting on him. That Baltimore put a hurting on him, something fierce. But they just can't seem to hit him. Now, I don't know about you. Now, I get touched over top of the mountain. There ain't nothing I can do about that. If they're shooting me, I can't even see them. There's nothing I can do. However, this Baltimore's about to come out. And again, these cruisers, they're doing things, but at the same time, they're not playing with the thought process of, hey, we need to survive. Okay, this is a cruiser, not a battleship. And even battleships, when I'm facing multiple Iowas, not even to admit the fact that there's 3 Iowas around this mountain right now. And all of them got their guns facing us right now. That's not preferable. And if you're in a cruiser right now, you should not be where you're at. Especially in an American cruiser, which is supposed to be basically playing at maximum range. Kind of like their Baltimore's trying to, but we already touched him. And we already touched their New Orleans. New Orleans is gone. The Baltimore has no health left. All we got to do is finish him off. Are we going to be able to finish him? Now it looks like they're shooting at him. And they really should focus him. Get him off the board. But at the same time, why are you sitting in front of 3 Iowas? Get out of there. Now he manages to slow down, make us miss the shot. And again, these guys are living well longer than they ever should have at this point, given the fact that there's 3 Iowas shooting at them. They're an American, I believe they're both in American cruisers, and that is just not the place you want to be. Now, the Atlanta comes through the gap on my left, and that's not preferable either. Because I can't really do anything to him, and he has a free opportunity to ruin my guys on my right. Now, unfortunately for the Atlanta, once they realize he's there, they're going to start firing at him. And that's not going to be a good day to be in Atlanta, because you got 203mm guns firing at you, and you only have 157mm guns firing at them. This Iowa is broadside, just begging for it. Now, we lose our first, and that was the Miyoko and then we lose a New Orleans on the other side. Or maybe it was a New Orleans that we lost on this side, and Miyoko we lost on the other side. But either way, this Atlanta is sitting in the gap. I can't get my guns on him because he reversed around the corner, unfortunately. And so I go back to turning my attention towards these islands. Now, I'm not going to lie. I realized that there's a friend of mine on the enemy team. Goes by the name of Google My Yahoo. We've run into each other quite a few times in World of Tanks, though this is the first time that I noticed him in World of Warships Legends. And he's in an Iowa, sailing straight at me, while I'm trying to pick on his teammates who are broadside on right now. Now, the Iowa, I have made no qualms about it, is one of the easiest ships to citadel in the world. Normally. But when I don't have my dispersion build, and I'm built for secondary batteries, it's still pretty easy to citadel the Iowa. And we get 3 citadels out of 1 salvo. Who needs dispersion, right? Just play with RNG, eventually you'll get lucky. Well, you'll see in a moment why I would rather have the dispersion build. As we've managed to get past these guys, I'm going to take one more shot before he gets behind the mountain completely. And see if we can't finish him off. Come on. What happened to those rounds? How did that not do anything? But, as you can see, I'm sailing in reverse. I no longer have any friends. I know that there was a Atlanta there that somehow managed to die. I don't know how, but he died, so that's good. But I have at least 1 Iowa sailing right at me. And there were 2 more Iowas around the corner that are just begging to ruin my day. Now, again, I don't have the dispersion build, but I do have the tanky build, so I've already recovered some health. I used my very first charge, and in a minute and 15 seconds, we'll be able to use the second one. And those are going to come in very, very handy, because I have a lot of angry people just sitting there shooting me like I'm going out of style. Now, here's some things that I need to mention about the Iowa. With the Iowa's main battery locations, it makes it very, very formidable while battle tanking. But there is an issue with battle tanking because the enemy can blow up your turrets and it's no fun. It's bad enough when I'm shooting at you and I'm managing to get nothing because my dispersion is bad. And I do believe at some point I go ahead and switch over to high explosive just to try to set them on fire. Because these guys are just trying to wear me out. I'm trying to angle as best I can, and they are just getting penetration after penetration after penetration. Our cooldown's almost over for our health regen. So we go ahead, we get a couple nice hits, but just not enough damage. But our teammate is getting damage. But notice the way he sails in. Now, again, I have my regen off of cooldown, but look at this guy and the way he sails in here. Completely broadside to 2 Iowas, and a third one right around the corner to the left. I can't see his health, but I'm gonna guess, because, I mean, if I was them, I'd be shooting at him too. And I guess that's a good thing. At least he buys me a little bit of time. But if you're broadside on, you're not long for this world, mister. It's just not worth it. When you're against multiple battleships, or even a single battleship, is getting 3 more guns worth it? Not usually. Not considering the amount of citadel hits that you take in the Iowa when you're broadside. It's almost guaranteed to be a citadel. And he's already lost a good chunk of his health, not from citadels, but just from penetration. And now you can see he's like, screw this, I need to battle tank with my stern. I don't think that's how that works, Sunshine. I really don't. And we park our ship, and he's still going to manage to run into us. Because, you know, some people are just special. Now, I noticed that Google is starting to move forward again. So I go ahead, I place the shots in front of him. And there's that amazing dispersion again, hitting him with 1 out of 6 rounds. But our team has won the left side of the map. And they're moving over it. And the destroyer is spotted in B, and hopefully isn't long for this world. But I can't worry about that because, again, I have this guy right behind me who's gone from broadside to stern tanking and back to broadside and giving them every chance in the world to citadel the ever-living crap out of them. So, given the fact that he is still broadside on, I decide to move forward, try to get these guys' attention. I'm still shooting at them every time that I reload my guns, but I'm trying to get their attention. Guys, shoot at me! I'm here! But when somebody's broadside on in a battleship, it just makes you really, really want to sink them. And so, as you can see, I've already switched to high explosive. I've gotten closer, trying to close the distance, get their attention, and trying to get some shots to hit the frickin' target. But as you can see, they don't care that I exist right now because, well, our battleship is still broadside. Now, I don't know how much health he has left, but given the fact that he has no interest whatsoever in continuing to fight on this side of the map, I'd say he's probably got no health left. So, we have still been firing high explosive because we're trying to get something. We're not getting any penetrations off these guys. Yeah, he's lost almost all of his health and gotten very little in return because these guys are actually playing correctly. They're bow tanking, just like I am. And as you can see, making yourself a difficult target is worth it in battleships. The only real issue that you've got to worry about when you're in a battleship and bow tanking is torpedoes, because they always seem to find you. But down goes the Iowa, leaving it a 2v2. Now, the other battleship is about to sail into B. And I realize this, and I'm telling him in chat right now, I'm like, dude, just cap B. I'm going to hold these guys as long as I can hold them. And as long as I can hold these guys and we get 2 of the caps, we win the match. That's all we got to do. So now that I'm close enough that I'm actually able to get some hits on them, we have 2 charges left of our health. So you can see I'm trying to wait for, getting hit and using my health regen when I actually regenerate quite a bit of health instead of just like 1 bar or whatever. Because I'm going to need every bar I can get. And as these guys have refocused me, and there you go, I go ahead and pop it. I've got about 1.5 bars that I can heal, and then I get penetrated, of course, because every time. And getting close to the end of this match, I start getting my front turrets blown up. And that's really, really frustrating. Because now you go from having 6 guns on target to only having 3. And here you'll see it. Oh, that wasn't it. Maybe it's the next shot. One of these times they're going to hit me, because I remember the match pretty well. And you get that the front turret's been knocked out. And you're like, okay, well, pop it, because I need that turret back. So you go ahead and you hit your damage control just to get that turret back online. But as you can see, I'm firing all of the HE that I can at him because I can set him on fire. And setting him on fire, after he just used it a moment ago, is a good thing. It gives me as much damage as I can get. Now, I've already done 106,000 damage, and there's the first time my turret gets knocked out. I go ahead, I pop that damage control, and get that turret back online, and then, as it's being repaired, we get hit again, and we completely lose the front turret. And that's the problem with the Iowa. The turrets really are easy to get knocked out on the Iowa. Now, under normal circumstances, you're not going to get a turret knocked out. But when you're fighting multiple ships, it's very easy. And now you can see they've knocked out my second turret temporarily. And I'm 50 seconds away from being able to get it back. Unless, of course, it heals on its own, which in 10 seconds it will. But we go ahead and we hit our health regen for the final time, and we get back up to close to half health. And our battleship buddy, who's coming out of B, is able to get broadside shots on these guys. So that's why I've been drawing them out into the open. Now, they are out in open water. We've got him out in open water, bow tanking them, and able to shoot at him. I have no idea what he's in, but we have the lead. There's only 30 seconds left, and they are both broadside onto him. And now that they realize their mistakes, you can see him starting to hit me with high explosive. Google My Yahoo is going broadside to me. Am I going to get a penetration? Come on! Armor piercing? Yes, we get a couple nice hits right there with over 5,000 damage done. And now things are getting really interesting because everybody knows it's their last shot. But we managed to weather the storm and come out on top with over 120,000 damage done while bow tanking against 2 Iowas for the majority of the match. Was it the most exciting gameplay? No. Was it a good match where you can see, hey, if you do things the right way, you can survive a lot longer? And as you can see, I'm trying to get to Google My Yahoo and send him a message. But I had to, man. It's just one of those things. But anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope you guys that are looking into battleships can use this as an idea of why you don't go broadside on compared to bow tanking, especially against multiple enemies. And as always, I will see you in the next video.